Good morning, everyone. Actually, good afternoon. Welcome. My name is Kimberly Trimmel, and I look forward to spending some time with you today. Quite honestly, this is a re-recording of my vision board party. So welcome. So first off, I'd like to say today is January 2nd, 2021. And when I first ran this, which was December 22nd, I actually was preparing for 2021. However, when I looked, the PowerPoint presentation slides or the PDFs didn't populate. So I am doing this again. So, and I will share this with the folks I promised to send it to. But thank you for being here with me on this day. And we are going to talk about vision boards. So first off, I'm going to share my screen. So give me a minute. And what I want to do is talk with you about your vision board, right? And I also, as I mentioned, I'm recording this and you'll see the New Year's thing in there. So first and foremost, Happy New Year. I'm glad that you are here. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that everybody has some tools. Now you might actually be watching this and you might not have any of the tools that I'm about to share with you. Or close at hand, but don't worry about that. Let me show you what they are. You've got your Crayola markers, which is actually a highlighter marker, so you can use this. You can also, that's a thicker one. This is the thinner version. I recommend a glue stick, right? Let me make sure it's facing the right way. And then I also recommend poster board. So, and you're going to notice that this will change periodically. Only because of the fact that you're going to see that I've got a virtual background. So anyhow, I just realized I didn't have mine with me. So thankfully my daughter's here and she's going to help me out. So one of the things is there's actually a scripture, an old writing that says that you should make your vision plain. If you don't have something written down that you're looking to accomplish, it's impossible to accomplish it. We have something called our reticular activator. It's in the back of our brain. And this draws things to you. So if I say something like red car, then what's probably going to happen is you're going to see red car. So because of that, you want to be mindful of what you think about because what you focus on increases. So here's we talk about this. Let me show you my vision board. So again, because of the virtual background, it's going to blur in and out. Let's see if you can see a portion of it there. But what I have here is things I'd like to accomplish. I have a weight goal. I have what would you call it? A travel goal. I want to actually stay young and healthy at heart. There's a couple of programs I'd like to enter into this year. And so basically what I've done is I've actually cut out something that represents each and every one of these. And I keep this where I look at it every day. Then when I actually accomplish something, I remove what it is, put it on the back of the board. It's on a poster board. And I'm able to write down the date that it was accomplished. Because of the fact that God, the universe, whatever you believe in, brings things to you, then, and I'm a person of faith, so I believe that, because of that reticular activator, that we draw things closest to us. So what you focus on increases. So what I'd like to suggest is that you consider what is it like you'd like to see this year. We're still fortunate enough to be in the second day of 2021. So as I said, get your markers, get your glue stick, get your magazine. I don't know if I showed you this, but here's an example. This one happens to be on health. Get scissors. You can even get I sometimes type things out on Word. I print it and I cut it out and I cut out the phrases and I use tape, but you can use a glue stick. You can use a magnetic board. You decide what works best for you. So these are just some things that work. So let's kind of talk about not getting stuck in the hows. So as we get started, I want you to think about your goal. First off, welcome. Welcome everyone. This time you will see the PDF slides. Before you couldn't. So if I've sent this to you before, I'm sending it to you again because I was just getting ready to send it out to somebody else. And I'm like, wait a minute, where's the PDFs? And I realized I must not have opened them or something didn't go right. So I'm re-recording. So anyhow, I'm so excited that you're spending time with me today and we're spending this time together. And I can't wait to discuss one of my favorite topics, which is vision boards. Who here has worked on a vision board before? Now I know you can't see me, or you can see me, but I can't see you. So you can, one lady I was just talking to, watch this with her sister. Invite people over, do a vision board party, do it virtually if you don't want to have people over yet, which is totally fine. But you want to make certain you have your marker, your scissors, your magazine, your glue stick or tape, whatever you plan on using. So as we get started, let's talk about the power of visualization. Visualization is one of the most powerful mind exercises that you can do. There's a very good book called The Secret. Matter of fact, my sister and I were talking about rereading it. I think if you go to Netflix, I think you can actually watch the movie. I think there's 2 versions of it now. It's called it's a powerful frequency. The idea is that what you focus on increases. That's what John Maxwell says. We emit things out through our brain, reticular activator, to the world. And if you're not familiar with the law of attraction, this could sound weird, but let's try it. If I say red car, I bet you if you go out today, or if you're look out the window, you're going to all of a sudden see more red cars. Simply put, the law of attraction is the ability to attract into our lives what we want. And I guess I'm almost talking to myself. I can talk about things that I don't want. I don't want this. I don't want that. The more you focus on what you don't want, guess what? That's what it brings. So even myself, I have to change my frequency into the law of attraction. In other words, thoughts turn into things. If you focus on the negative will come from that. So thoughts become things. Thoughts become things. What you focus on increases. So as we think about this, I want you to kind of think about once you've made a decision, the universe partners with you and conspires with you to make it happen. Ralph Waldo Emerson said this. Can you think of a situation or an instance in which this took place for you? If you're having trouble thinking about the last time you had a bad day, or maybe you woke up and you said, oh, this is going to be a crappy day, and then you end up with a crappy day, self-fulfilling prophecy. Or let's say you wake up and you say, today's going to be a wonderful day. One of my favorite things to say, and I have to make sure say it more often, is today's going to be a fantastic day. I can't wait to see all the wonderful things that are going to happen to me today. And you can even look in the mirror, and as odd as this may sound, you can say, today's going to be a fantastic day. I can't wait to see all the wonderful things that are going to happen to me today. Now, does that mean that I do that every day? No, but the days I do it, at least changes my brain into more of a frequency of gratitude and positivity. Basically, think about how your mood shifts based on what you said. Ralph Waldo Emerson would say, things seem worse because you've made the decision to have a bad day versus a good one. So try that. There's also another, you can put quotes on your vision board or your dream board. I have a quote or a quote that says, today I will be my own hero. Today I will be my own hero. I'm not searching for a hero. I will be that hero. And that today God's got me. No matter what's going on, God's got me. We're going to be fine. And so you don't become what you want. You become what you believe. So we have to start on our beliefs. Actually, Oprah Winfrey says that. Once you can accept the idea that negative thoughts create negative energy, it's not a big leap to entertain positive thinking. I'll start down a really bad path and I'll be like, oh, woe is me. This isn't going right. And then sometime either the same day or the next day, or within mid-sentence, those are really great days when that happens. I think to myself, what do you mean? Just stop. Focus on the positive. I was just talking to a group about, we had a virtual coffee and we were talking about the beauty of a gratitude journal. Write down things that make you happy, especially if you're having a dark day and you're like, oh, things just aren't going well. Well, what is going well? I'm healthy. I have a roof over my head. I have people around me that love me. God loves me. And so, and whatever you believe, I'm just saying I'm a person of faith, so I'm going to say that. But if you could attract one thing, what would it be? Write down that one thing. Remember, thoughts become things. Write that down. Hopefully you're taking notes. I know, grab a sheet of paper, grab a napkin. One of my other friends just took notes on a napkin, but they kept the napkin and then they transferred it. So how do you want to shape your life? You can shape your life any way you want. Let's say you want to be married by the time you're, I don't know, 30. Let's say you want to have a baby by the time you're, I don't know, 34. Let's say you want to travel to what is it? Sands, I think it is. It's in hold on. I know this because it's where I want to go. Beaches. You want to go to beaches. Then that's actually part of what's on my vision board. Not the baby part. I've done that already. But I mean like the where I want to travel, what I want personally, professionally, spiritually. I want to serve more. And if that means is in this current environment that we find ourselves in, which is virtually, then I try to find ways to serve. If it's not in church, I serve this way. Either way, I want to be used to help people feel positive, help people feel that they're loved, that they're cared for. So creating a vision board is a tool that helps you narrow down your greatest dreams and present them in a way that constantly reminds you of your goals. I'll read that again. Creating a vision board is a tool that helps you narrow down your greatest dreams and presents them in a way that constantly reminds you of your life goals. Vision boards give you the power of choice. Vision boards force you to consider and examine your dreams and your goals. Take out and look, this is where I'm at. This is where I want to be. Are they the same? Do you want to be the same place you were in 2020? Are you giving yourself the opportunity for choices? I know in my personal life, I've had to make some choices and some of them I'm not really happy about, but I am learning how to, what is it, make lemonade out of lemons? Increase your choices. Figure out what options that you have. Certainly things may not have gone a way that you thought they should have gone, but we can actually focus around what's the ideal and not to get caught up on the hows. We try not to get caught up in how is this going to happen? I don't know how it's going to happen. I just know I want it to happen. And based on previous history, my whole history, looking back at life, I've desired it. It's a good intention. God blesses it. The universe blesses it. The process of choosing puts you on board with the universe. You're basically partnering with the universe. You have to remember not to get caught up in the how, and not to get caught up in the when, and not to get caught up in the who. Like when I say the who, I don't mean the band, if any of you remember them. I mean, don't get caught up in the how. How's this going to happen? I don't know how it's going to happen, that this next step in my life is going to happen, but I believe it'll happen just like all the other things. I remember when I decided to have my children, after my twins, which I decided with that one too, but I knew my husband and I, we would talk, well, we're going to have a son. And he's like, well, we can't have a son if we don't have someone for him to play with. Hence my daughter was an idea. And there we now have 4 kids. I've got my twins, got my son, and I've got my youngest daughter. But the youngest daughter never would have happened if me and he and I had not talked about what we wanted, but we talked about it together. So we had a power of choice. So I didn't know how it was going to happen. Well, I didn't know when it was going to happen. I didn't know. Well, you really don't actually ever really know when it's going to happen. I had an idea, but my point behind all that is not to get caught up in the details. Just kind of know that this is my goal. Discover what your intentions are. What is it that you're planning to accomplish? What do you want? What do you need? What do you value? How do you want to feel when these things are a reality? There's another phrase, it's called be, do, have. Be, act as if. Act as if, and this I'm talking to myself right now, be and act as if you have what it is that you want. Be complete in yourself. This I sometimes have to have a pep talk with myself as well. I'm complete in Christ. If nothing else, if something in the natural is not the way I want it to be, I'm complete in Christ. I believe God's given me everything that I need, and I just have to believe, even if I'm feeling a loss of some descript, then I have to believe that somehow, some way, God's going to turn it around for something better. So be, act as if. You ever heard of fake it till you make it? It's a long, old school phrase. Do the things that would be something that would bring things toward your way. If your goal is to be attractional, be attractional. Do things that are attractional. Think positive thoughts. Smile. Now I know that's hard to see underneath the face covering, but smile. People can see your smiling eyes. So if you be, and then you do, and then you have, and if you will have, and then your intentions line up with your behavior lines up with your intentions, and it's like planting a seed. So your visualization in the brain. Our brain is an amazing and complex machine that is geared towards making us successful with every action we take. In fact, when we imagine ourselves preparing for the process, we send signals to our brain that we're ready to receive. Think about this. If I tell you I would like a biscuit, I would like a croissant, I would like a penny. If my hands are like this, can you give me anything? Yes or no? You can write it down because I know I can't hear you, but I'm imagining you're saying, no, Kim, I can't, because your hands are clenched. Your fists are clenched. So if you want something, open your hand, open yourself to possibilities, do things that you might not normally do. Make sure they're legal, make sure they're ethical, make sure they're, well, I can't, tell you what to do, but moral is helpful too. And if you do that, you open up your possibilities. It might not happen when you want it to, but consider what it's like to be patient versus anxious. So patient gives time. There's something called a gestation period. You know how when a woman gets pregnant, there's a period of time where the way the baby's developing and then the baby's born. That's the gestation period. It's the same thing with our thoughts. We think about something, there's a time element, then there is some fruit that is born from it. Consider what happens when you think about something or you're anxious, you're visualizing the worst case scenario. Oh, this is never going to happen. It's never happened before. It definitely isn't going to happen again. Don't go down that path. Even if you're saying it through your tears or through gritted teeth, say, this is going to be fine. All is well. Your vision board should not just focus on pictures. It should be pictures of feelings. So versus just material things. Oh, I'll be happy when I get this car. I'll be happy when I get this person. I'll be happy when I'm married. I'll be happy when I'm divorced. I'll be happy when I'm a couple. I'll be happy when I'm no longer a couple. We can't tie being happy to something, but we can choose to be happy where we're at. So when you put up dreams of your car, your home, your dream home, other material possessions, it's equally important to focus on your feelings. For example, Disney World. I remember I took my kids to see Orlando years ago. And I don't know who was happier, me or them, to meet Mickey Mouse and Goofy. I remember saying, because when I was a kid growing up, they used to have a commercial that had, I think it was an adult or it was actually a kid, that said to Goofy, I've been waiting my whole life to meet you. I actually told Goofy that when I met him, because it was a stellar moment. It was a pivotal moment in my life. The Disney World is, especially coming from a baby boomer's perspective, that's the epitome of joy. That was representational. So a smile, I have that picture somewhere, and I actually should put it on my board to have that. Think about, what do you want to feel like when you achieve what it is you're looking for? What is the one person or memory that brings you joy? For me, one is my mom. I mean, she's in heaven right now, but that thought brings me joy. As a matter of fact, I had a great positive dream about her yesterday, overnight. It was wonderful. My late husband brings me joy. My children bring me joy. So I think about these things. My church family brings me joy. My work that I do brings me joy. So when we're thinking about this, collect your thoughts. The goal is to bring everything. You can have more than one vision board, or you can have one board that kind of talks about various things. You can have one for relationships, one for career and finances, one for home, one for travel, one for personal growth. Take a mental inventory of what you're looking for. There's something called the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon. This is the frequency illusion. It is similar to the reticular activator that I told you about. When we think of something, what you focus on expands. Again, my example, the red car. So what you focus on. So if you're like, oh, this is never going to work out, I'm not going to try this anymore, then guess what? It's not going to work out. If you focus on negative, what you focus on expands. So what do you want to bring to life? You're in charge, and you partner with the universe of making your life the way you want it to be. When I was a kid, I didn't want a traditional, and well, I didn't mind working 9 to 5, but I didn't want to be a secretary, which was pretty popular back when I was growing up. I wanted to do things that women didn't do. I was a construction worker in college. I actually became a mortgage loan originator when I was early on in my career, and women weren't doing those. And then I became a real estate agent. That wasn't trendy back then. Most men held those positions. So I was able to take my thoughts, what I wanted, and actually turn it into things. So bring whatever your thoughts are to life. So think about the general message you want to convey. Do you want to feel calm, inspired, energized, happy? Take a few minutes to think about what you'd like your board to convey and start looking for pictures, whether it's on Pinterest or a magazine or online, that represent those things. And think about what's your vision board style. Again, some people's are cluttered. I'll try and see if I could show you mine. Here's mine. Mine isn't exactly cluttered. It's more like an arch of material. So it goes from personal to business to travel. These are the things I'd like to accomplish in 2021. Now, I'm grateful to say I've had this board probably since September, October, and there's already been one thing, and that's now on the back of my board. There, you sort it out, you can see that I've been able to accomplish. And systematically, one by one, these things will come down, replace them with new goals. And the idea, again, you are the co-creator in your world. So decide what aesthetic you might like. You might not like the way mine is laid out, but that's okay. You don't have to. Use scissors, use the markers, use the glue stick. You can do it, you can do one on a magnetic board, so you can just move things around that way. Do you need colors? Do you like certain colors? My favorite color is pink. Do you want just one board, or do you want many boards? It's up to you to determine the size and the scope of your board. I recommend placing it somewhere you can see it every day. Mine is right near when I first wake up in the morning. It's right there. I see every day, today I'm going to be my own hero. Now, do I have days that I slip? Yes, I do. Do I have like moments when, I cry? Sure, I do. I'm human. But for the most part, when it comes time to regroup, which I try to have that not last too long, because you can go into, I learned about pre-depression over the, March, April, May. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't want to go out like this. I've got to get my mind back in the game. So your thankful journal, your gratitude journal, your items on your board, these are going to be things that will help you. However, your choice of how you use these things are up to you. You can have just one vision board, or you can have more than one. When we get back to working in place, and some people are still going to their offices, maybe put one in your office, which is a great conversation starter, because you can teach your team the same things. You can have one, maybe there's an event coming up, someone's getting married, there's something that you're physically going to go to. I mean, there's limited things, but there are things out there like that right now. What do you want that to look like? For me, when I was going through my weight loss journey, which I still have like 6 pounds to go, but I started out with like 47 pounds to go. 47 pounds is what I lost, but I had more than that to lose. I would have pictures of what I want it to look like. I am close, but I'm still not there. And I'm grateful to say I managed through the stay-at-home experience that we had. I had gained a little weight, but then I got it back under control. And now I work out at home. My daughter helps me with workouts. Yay. And nutrition, truly important. And now I help other people do the same. But anyhow, where are you going to get these pictures? You're going to get them from magazines, Pinterest, Facebook, if you see something on Facebook, pages from a book, brochures, pamphlets, flyers, invitation, business cards. Maybe you thought of having your own company. Start thinking about what you want that to look like. Other than that, you'll need the board. We talked about that. Adhesive, whether that's tape or whether that's a glue stick, and some type of, you could jewel it up. You can dazzle it. You can do whatever you want, but be aware it's your board. Set up your workspace. This has become my flex room. You can't tell right now because I have the virtual background up, but I am in my dining room, which behind me is a bookcase. And because I'm a certified speaker, trainer, and coach with the John Maxwell team, and I'm now speaking both locally as well as globally, virtually, then that was actually not even on my board. But now I'm a global speaker. I've actually spoken in Ghana, Africa, Lagos, Nigeria. I've spoken in Ecuador. And if you had ever asked me that I would do that, I'd have said no. How am I going to do that? Well, this is something you could put on your vision board. So set up your space, set up a few hours that you're going to work on this. Make it a surface that, for me, this is my dining room table. So I'm mindful of cleaning it up when I'm done, usually. But then I, put it back, and then it goes back to my creative mode and it's a mess. But that's okay. I've heard a sign of a messy desk is a sign of a creative person, but I do put it back together. But anyhow, you can invite people, even if it's virtually. You can invite them to participate. Add affirmations, add phrases, add like, today I'm going to be my own hero, or this is going to be a great day. I can't wait to see all the wonderful things that are going to happen to me today. Whatever your phrases are, as you add things, quotes or phrases that inspire you, consider words like joyful, powerful, fearless, loved, strong, overcomer. Think of your favorite words that you might want to add to your board. Make it real. The great thing about living intentionally is that you don't have to wait for external things to become reality. Make them a reality here. Act as if, remember, be, do, have, and make a list of things that you can start doing right now that are in alignment with where you're trying to go. So if it's in the area of relationship, maybe allow yourself to be introduced to someone. Maybe you might want to consider, with caution, you might want to consider online dating. If you're already married and you're like, well, I want my husband and I to go on a special vacation when this thing is over, get a picture of it. If it's, weight loss, mine, I've got the 6 pounds I'm working on. But if you have a weight loss goal, then put it on your board. I weigh, and then put the weight that you'd like. And then ask, who that can help you get there. I actually have a weight loss client. She lost 5 pounds her first week, 2.5 pounds her second week. And she's on her way to weighing less than 200 pounds. She is thrilled, but she made it real. She put it on her list. And then what did she do next? She started acting towards it. And so that is really important. Think about, what are you going to feel like? What are your thoughts when you accomplish that? What are your emotions? What are your choices? What personal actions can you take to get there? Update your board regularly. Revise it. Recreate it every quarter. Take a look at it and think, as soon as you've accomplished something, remove it from the front, maybe put it on the back. At the end of the year, you can say, wow, look at all the things that have been accomplished. You might opt to build in the the empty space magnetically. Again, you can have a magnetic, you could, if you'd like to, you can have a magnetic board if you'd like. Maybe you prefer to set a date for revising your board. Take time out of each day to contemplate, reflect. You'll be placing on your board things, you can put them on every day. You could have once a week. You could have a time where your board for that moment is complete. Ask yourself if you're living intentionally daily towards what you have committed to. Nobody else is saying, I need you to accomplish this, Kim. I'm saying this is what I want for my life. We have one life. This is not a dress rehearsal. We don't get to do this again. So what do you want this to look like? What do you want to feel like when you're there? Think about your gratitude journal. If you don't have one, you can pick up a notebook at the dollar store. If you'd like to explore the further possibilities of any of the things we've talked about, gratitude journal, weight loss, positivity, anything that I can help you with, I am here as a resource. This class was put together using very many resources. A lot of this came from John Maxwell content, and a lot of it came from my experience in doing vision boards and goal setting over the last few years. And if you have any other questions, you can reach me at Kimberly Trimmel, KIMBERLY Trimmel, T like Tom, RIMMEL @gmail.com. If you'd like to speak with me about speaking engagements, reach out to me as well. My email address is kimberlytrimmel@gmail.com. My website is kimberlytrimmel.com. So it's KIMBERLY Trimmel, T like Tom, RIMMEL @gmail.com or simply.com for my website. Happy New Year. Thank you for taking the first step. I applaud you in taking the first step in your 2021 and you being in charge of it. For those of you who've seen, who saw this before when I sent it in December, the reality is it did not have these screenshots on it. So I'd like to let you know I'm resending it. Yay, double gift. Thank you so much. And I look forward to hanging out with you all again. Be well. Happy New Year. I wish you blessings, peace, prosperity, joy, health in 2021 for both you and your family. Thank you again. I appreciate you. Have a great day. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm going to end this and I'm going to go ahead and send it to you. Again, Kimberly Trimmel, Trimmel Consulting and Coaching, LLC, and Kimberly Trimmel @gmail.com or kimberlytrimmel.com. Everybody have a great day now.